Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Brad Bond in for Phil Gallagher. Also, as part of the broadcast, we have BNEWS Director Rich Hosford. We have reporters Robert Parrish, Chris Flaherty, and John Viez, and we've got Liz Gillespie on sports. To the news. The library has a new reading nook in memory of a young boy who passed away far too soon. BNews reporter Robert Parrish went to check it out and has this look.
The community has shown its support for a Burlington family in the wake of a tragedy by helping them make a positive impact on a beloved location. In 2018, a young boy by the name of Jackson Walsh passed away from sudden unexplained death in childhood at the age of 1.5. Jackson's parents, Harry and Michelle, wanted to create something good in his memory and benefit a place their son loved in life. They asked for donations to be made to the Burlington Public Library, a favorite place for the family to visit. Soon, donations from the community started pouring in, and the result was the Jackson Reading Nook.
The family reached out, the Walsh family reached out to the library to ask where they could contribute or send contributions in Jackson's name. And, about 3 months after that, we ended up with quite a bit of money that was being held for a project. And so what we did was we waited to speak with the family. And once the family was ready to talk to us about what they might be interested in doing, we came together, had a series of conversations about what would be appropriate for Jackson, what would be appropriate for the community, what would be appropriate for the library.
Harry and Michelle always took Jackson to the library, where he enjoyed storybooks, activities, and character meet and greets.
The Walshes felt that they had quite a connection with the library. Their son, being only 1.5 years old, they didn't have too many connections to municipal institutions, I believe, beyond the library, where they had brought him for story times, some of our music programming as well. So I think that had made an impact on their lives, and so after this tragedy, they wanted to make an impact on the lives of other people in Burlington.
The Nook has many features that are special to Jackson's memory.
So the features of the Nook, we have the Nook itself, which is a space with we have a new sofa for parents to read with their children. It's located in the picture book area, as you can see where we're at right now. So there's the sofa that you can do some lap sit reading. There's also behind me here, we have an activity board where kids can play. And then most significantly in this space, we have the castle itself, which is an area where we have some of the books that Jackson had when he was a young child. Enjoyed having that read to him by his parents and family members. And we have transferred our puppet collection to this area as well. And then in another space of the library, in the atrium of the children's room, we have a little play kitchen for children, which has been incredibly popular.
The Nook will forever be in Jackson's memory and for use too by parents and children of Burlington for many years and generations to come.
Michelle and Harry have told me that they want to continue the relationship and continue improving services for children in the library, and so we're very much looking forward to continuing that relationship.
From the Burlington Public Library, I'm Robert Parrish for BNews Weekly.
Thank you, Robert, and thank you to Jackson's parents for their kind donation in Jackson's memory. Well, Council on Aging Director Marge McDonald was before the recent town meeting to provide an update on the new transportation system being put in place. Last year, town meeting voted to not renew the B line as of June 30th of 2020 and go with a ride service pilot program proposed by McDonald and DPW Director John Sanchez. McDonald announced to the Assembly that Burlington has received a grant for $75,000 from Mass DOT for the pilot program. The program will use the ride service Lyft and GoGo Grandparent. GoGo Grandparent is a concierge service that can be called for Lyft service by those not adept at using smartphone apps or people without a smartphone. The program is for Burlington residents 60 years and older, people with a medically proven disability, or those at a certain amount below the poverty level. Participants will pay the first dollar, and the town will cover the next $10 of the ride. Participants will cover any cost beyond $10. McDonald explained the service will be for rides that begin or end in Burlington. There will be training made available for the use of the apps for those not comfortable using smartphone applications. McDonald explained that they're communicating with Brookline, who began their ride service program in September. Current users of the B line were sent a letter outlining the program and with information on when it will start. Applications will be processed by Marge McDonald and sent to Lyft and GoGo Technologies. The pilot program is set to begin Monday, February 17th. Good luck with that. Well, the Burlington Historical Museum will soon be accessible to everyone. Last Monday night, town meeting voted to approve the use of $120,000 to install an elevator lift at the museum to make it accessible for wheelchairs. The article was put forward due to an impending need. Every year, the school department has students visit the museum for a field trip that is one of the museum's biggest events of the year. This year, however, the department was considering canceling the trip because a student in a wheelchair would not be able to attend if the building was not accessible. Town Administrator Paul Sagarino said it is a town-owned building and he felt that they had a responsibility to make it accessible to all people. One town meeting member asked if this project would hit the 1/3 value of the building, which under state law would trigger other required work to make the building fully accessible. Inspector of Buildings Andrew Ungerson said that was an unknown at this time, but he believes the project should be approved. Another town meeting member raised the point that while this project was initially inspired by the need to accommodate a specific student, the lift would indeed be available for anyone who needs it. Peter Coppola of the Historical Commission said the museum has had guests in the past that needed help getting into the building and that having greater accessibility has been a long-term need for the building. In the end, town meeting voted overwhelmingly in support of the expenditure. Well, Burlington has a new restaurant, one that features a wide-ranging menu and a very large beer selection. The Yard House held a ribbon-cutting ceremony this week for its new Middlesex Turnpike location. BNEWS Director Rich Hosford was there and has this look.
There's a new place to grab lunch or dinner in Burlington. The Yard House held a ribbon-cutting ceremony with the Burlington Area Chamber of Commerce this past Monday to mark its opening. The Yard House, in the former Chili's spot at 108 Middlesex Turnpike, has a new, large building and is ready to welcome new customers to its location in this bustling part of town.
Well, I think you see that Burlington has really become a restaurant mecca, and we hear so often that people feel like it's not for them. The Yard House represents that middle-level restaurant that's open for families as well. It's not all about the beer. The food is absolutely phenomenal, and this is hitting a spot in the marketplace that Burlington's been asking for.
One of the boasts of the restaurant is its extensive list of cold beers on draft.
You'll see 130 draft beers behind me. Our keg room up above, illuminated in blue lights. We have offerings from Belgian beers to local beers to craft beers.
The menu is also sizable and varied.
In addition to our beers, we have our what we call our no veto menu. So it's 100+ menu items made from scratch. A little bit of something for everybody. I always challenge our guests that if they can't find something on our menu that they like, I'll buy them lunch, and 7 years later, I have yet to do that. So there's definitely something for everybody in there.
Along with offering a wide variety of food and drinks, Paul said he and his crew strive to ensure every customer has a great time while dining at the restaurant.
You know, it's all about the experience. So I want every guest, when they leave, I want them to think about the next time they're coming back through our doors and the impact that we had on their visit. We spend a lot of time looking at making connections and developing relationships with our guests so we can provide a specific level of service to them each and every time so that they're going to want to come back with us and can't wait to try something new off the menu, try a new beer. But it's the hospitality and the people that bring our guests back to us.
Finally, the owners of the Yard House have been looking to open a location in Burlington for a long time, and based on early enthusiasm, feel they made the right choice.
Burlington is an extremely busy place. We've been looking at this location or spot in Burlington for the last several years. So when we had the opportunity to secure a location, we jumped on it. And I think from what we've seen thus far, it's going to be a good spot for us.
From the Yard House on Middlesex Turnpike, I'm BNews Director Rich Hosford.
Thanks, Rich. Looks like a good place. A longtime member of the planning board who recently stepped down from his seat was honored for his years of service on Thursday. The planning board meeting started with a recognition for Jack Kelly, who in total served for 17 years on the board in addition to his time in town meeting. Kelly was presented with a ceremonial chair by the board, and State Rep Ken Gordon also presented him with a proclamation from the State House. Here's Board Chair Barbara LaRue talking about Jack Kelly.
Again, everyone, our special guest tonight is Jack Kelly, who has given 17 years of service to the planning board. He was on planning board from 1984 to 1994, and then also from 2012 to 2019. And I know Jack has had a huge impact on all of us. I know he had an enormous impact on me. When I first decided to run for planning board, Paul called me up and asked me if I'd be willing to run. And shortly thereafter, I found out Jack was running, and I said, oh no, I don't stand a chance now. But we worked together, and he's been a mentor and a wonderful member of the planning board, and he's sorely missed. But we're very happy for you that you're enjoying your retirement as well. So we got you this great chair. Have a seat, Jack.
Okay. Will it fit in my car?
Arrange delivery.
Yeah, okay. Does it fit? Does it fit?
And we have this from State Rep Ken Gordon.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Jack. Take a few minutes to thank you for the contributions you've made to the town and also the contributions you've made to help me become a better state representative. And you know that you were there from the very first day, in fact, before the first day, that I ran for state rep and then became state rep when I came to Burlington, and I tried to figure out, okay, who are the people who really have worked the most, the hardest, and the most effectively for the town of Burlington, because those are the people I need to meet right away. And that very first day I met you, Jack, I met Paul, and several others of you as well, and learned a lot about the inner workings of the government here in Burlington, and continue to learn from you. And I appreciate all of the advice and the guidance that you've all given me all these years. So thank you very much for that, Jack. It's just been a pleasure to work with you in various capacities through the years. So I've got
And I served on a committee with Jack for a few years myself, and I'll personally thank him as well for all of his years of service. Well done. Well, Cub Scout Pack 105 was off to the races on Saturday, June 25th, for their annual Pinewood Derby. At a long-standing tradition of the Scouts, participants of all ages handcraft wooden cars and send them flying down the wooden racetrack. BNEWS reporter Chris Flaherty has this look.
Cub Scout Pack 105 of Burlington held their annual Pinewood Derby event on Saturday, January 25th at Fox Hill Elementary. Scouts of all ages, from Lions to Webelos, spend weeks building and designing cars in preparation for this day.
They get a car kit, which is just a block of wood. They have to design it. They have to work with their parents or significant grown-up to build and design the car, make sure that it meets specific recommendations, requirements.
I would say the biggest rules are they can't make the car bigger than it is. They want to make sure they maintain the 5 ounces to get the fastest car, and they have to stay within the size of the block of wood.
They have to make sure that the wheelbase is the same. They can't adjust that, so they can't do a lot of major changes because we want to make it a level playing field. And the main point is to have fun.
A long-standing tradition of the Cub Scouts, the Pinewood Derby event has grown throughout time, increasing the amount of leadership and community service opportunities for Scouts.
I can tell you the biggest change in the Derby every year isn't so much the raceway, it's the events that go on around it and getting the local BSA troops involved in taking on positions of leadership. And we've been able to give more Scouts and older troops service hour opportunities.
Advancements in technology have helped shape the art of Pinewood Derby racing as it is today.
You know, they used to just have like little flags pop up at the end, or it was a sight finish. Now everything's computerized. Kids can figure out weights, lights, sound effects, center of gravity, everything. They figure out how to build a faster, more efficient car.
I spoke to some of the young competitors about the cars they constructed for this year's Derby.
Well, mostly I just wanted the spikes right here, and I did a little curve and then a hill.
What do you think the secret is to making a fast car?
Making it as heavy as possible.
I love eagles. They're kind of my favorite bird. So I put an eagle on the hood of my car. I cut my car in this shape because the wind would just flow right over the car. It's based after my cat Ginger, like right here on the face. And there's this little orange button on the back. Then if I click it, headlights turn on, and it looks like the eyes. Well, first I decided on one, and then my dad carved it a little bit so it could make the same weight as it's supposed to.
When the dust settles and every car has crossed the finish line, each scout can take home an important lesson in sportsmanship.
The ability to cheer on a friend, and even when they win, be proud of themselves without being boastful.
You know, it's not about winning or losing, it's about having a good time, doing an activity with your family, and cheering on your friends.
Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNEWS Weekly.
Thank you, Chris. And here's the actual car that BCAT's own president, Linda McNamee, carved out. I assume everyone hopefully recognizes the logo. Impressive work, Linda. Congratulations, everybody. Looks like a fun event. Make sure that doesn't roll off the table here. And there we go. So a glass company is moving a contact center from Burlington to Billerica. Safelite Group, a multifaceted vehicle glass and claims management service organization out of Columbus, Ohio, announced this week that it'll relocate its contact center operations from 18 Terry Avenue in Burlington to a new building located at 47 Manning Road in Billerica. The new building will be 5 times larger than the previous building and have seating for 100 rather than the 20 at the current site. Spokesperson Casey Sudzina said the relocation will provide the opportunity for existing Safelite employees to remain with the company, as well as provide the necessary infrastructure for job growth. Additional amenities of the new call center will include ample employee parking, additional seating and workspace, as well as an upgraded facility that will allow for implementation of new technology. Safelite expects the relocation to be finalized at the end of May. And the community service-oriented Rotary, there we go. Thank you, guys. The community service-oriented Rotary Interact Club at Burlington High School recently went about the task of making Valentine's Day cards for Burlington senior citizens, including an 104-year-old California veteran who asked the public for cards this February 14th. BNews Director Rich Hotsford went to meet with the students and has this report.
There was a lot of brightly colored construction paper, cutout hearts, magic markers, colored pens, and expressions of creativity in the Burlington High School cafeteria this week, as members of the Burlington Rotary Interact Club were hard at work making Valentine's Day cards. Rotary Interact is a club for high school students that is an extension of the Burlington Rotary Club. For the approximate 15 years it has been in existence, the club leaders have been teaching the students the value of charity and public service. The cards being made that night fit right into this mission.
Tonight's program, what we're doing is we're making cards for Marge McDonald and the Senior Center here in Burlington. We'll decorate the office for Valentine's Day, and most of the seniors that go there, whether it be daily or once a week or whenever, they love to see a little bit of and feel like they're a little bit younger, that they see what some of the younger adults are doing, and that they're being remembered on Valentine's Day.
The students were also working on a special card for a special recipient, World War II veteran and Purple Heart recipient Major Bill White, who, when asked if he wanted anything for Valentine's Day, said he would like to receive cards for his collection of memorabilia.
He's 104 years old, and all he asked for, someone asked him for Valentine's Day, what was he thinking of what he wanted, and he wanted Valentine's cards. So he's out in Stockton, California, and tonight we've got one big large card that we're going to decorate and sign, tell him we're thinking of him, we remember his service, we thank him for his service.
The students in the club said they enjoy giving back to the community.
I think definitely the idea of giving back, and it's a very rewarding experience. Going to the events and being part of it and knowing that you're something bigger than yourself is really something rewarding.
I just love all the events that we do, and I think it's really fun, and I love how it's all about the community, service over self, and it's like all my core values and everything that I look forward to.
They were also excited to let local seniors and Major White know they were thinking about them.
Really good to see and give back to people who gave so much to us in the past. I think that it's nice as high schoolers to do it, especially for the veteran that he served overseas, obviously, for us, and to give back to them in any way possible.
I think it's really sweet how we get to make cards for them and make their Valentine's Day really happy, and they get a smile on their face, and it's just such a great feeling when you realize that someone actually cares about you and makes you something meaningful.
Finally, one goal of the club is to instill in the students a lifelong commitment to community service that leaders hope extends beyond their high school careers.
When they go on to college and graduate college and have careers, they may continue their community service interests.
That seems to be working.
Definitely. I'm planning to go to college next year and definitely want to continue community service and help out as much as I can in the community when I get there too.
Absolutely. Volunteering is like a big part of my life. I've been doing it since I was really little, and I hope to continue doing it for as long as I live.
From the BHS cafeteria, I'm BNEWS Director Rich Hosford.
Thanks, Rich, and thanks to all the kids for doing all those Valentines. I'm sure they'll be well received. Well, the BNews weatherman Peter Brown is out this week, but never fear, BCAT's own John Villas filled in for him with this week's forecast. We go to him now for the latest, and then we'll check out the community calendar with Chris Flaherty to see what's happening in Burlington.
Hello everyone, I'm John Villas, filling in for BNews meteorologist Peter Brown, who is out this week. We start our weather report with the almanac, which shows that at 39 degrees, we're going to have temperatures slightly higher than average for this time period. However, we won't be close to the historic low for this day, which was -6 degrees in 1966. But we're also not near the record high of the spring-like temperature of 55 degrees set in 1951. One final note on the almanac is the hours of daylight are getting longer each day. Sunset will be at 5:06 p.m. Now let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. I do have to say, the temperatures and weather patterns are changing each day. On Friday, we'll see lots of rain with temps in the high 30s. Saturday, we'll see partly sunny skies with temps in the high 20s. Sunday, a chance of snow showers with temps in the 30s. Monday, we'll see another day of partly sunny skies with temps in the low 40s. Tuesday, a mix of rain and snow with temps in the low 40s. Finally, Wednesday's another sunny day with temps in the mid 30s. And Thursday's another mix of rain and snow with temps in the low 40s. That's all for your weekly forecast. I'm John Villas, and as Peter Brown would say, get out there and enjoy the weather.
I'm Chris Flaherty, and this is your community calendar. Make a card for that special someone. On Tuesday, February 11th, from 6:30 to 7:15 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having an event for kids to make Valentine's Day cards. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. For more information, go to burlington.org or call 781-270-1690. Get ready to party and celebrate. On Saturday, February 15th from 12 to 2:30 p.m., Bamboo in Bedford will be having a celebration for the Lunar New Year. The event will be hosted by the New England Association of Chinese Professionals. Everyone is welcome and pre-registration is required. Go to the New England Association of Chinese Professionals Facebook page for more information and to register. Take a look at our Big Blue Planet and beyond. On Tuesday, February 18th through the 21st, the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department will be having an event called Earth, Space, and Sea. The event is for kids in grades 2nd through 4th. Pre-registration is required. For more information and to register, go to burlingtonrecreation.org or call 781-270-1695. I'm Chris Flaherty, and this has been your Community Calendar.
The winter season is well underway, and the Burlington High School teams are battling hard. For the latest Red Devil news, we go now to BNews sports reporter Liz Gillespie for this week's sport report.
Hey everyone, I'm Liz Gillespie for your weekly sports report. BHS winter sports are nearing the end of their season. However, there are still a few games left during the month of February. The boys and girls basketball teams had games against the Arlington Spy Ponders on Tuesday evening. Here are the highlights from the girls' game.
The Burlington Lady Devils basketball team had a home meet against the Arlington Spy Ponders on Tuesday evening at BHS. Let's get to the action. First period, close throughout. Burlington put up 10 points. However, they did allow 3 fouls on net, leaving the score at 10-8 at the end of the first. Second period, things changed for both teams. The Lady Devils put up 11 points, while the Spy Ponders had 17 points, 25-21 at the half. Arlington was leading. Majority of the third period went to the Spy Ponders as they answered with an additional 22 points. The Lady Devils put up another 18 points on the board. Each team allowed 3 fouls on net. At the end of the third, the score was 47-39 Arlington. Now the fourth and final period of the game. Did Burlington make a comeback? Well, sort of. Each team put up 11 points and both of them allowed fouls on net. Arlington 5 and Burlington 9. We had a chance to speak with Coach McKay after the game.
Arlington shot unbelievable. So, I mean, not covering threes and putting them on the line, that was our issue on the defensive end, which actually we did really well initially until, we'd get them down to 2 or 3 seconds left on the shot clock and then they'd hit a 3 or we'd foul them. And there's not much you can do about that. On the other end, we just weren't patient with the basketball. I was actually surprised at halftime that we were only down 4 because we threw so many possessions away. Even when we did make good defensive stops, we were just throwing the ball right back into their hands. And then just energy-wise, I felt like that second half, we just allowed their energy and their level to kind of overwhelm us. And then we waited till there were about 3 minutes left to really match that. And then once we did, we looked great, but at that point it was too late. We had to foul to try to get back into it. And again, they didn't miss free throws, so that strategy is not going to help at that point.
The final score, 58-50 Arlington.
Both teams will travel to Melrose to face the Red Raiders on Friday evening. The girls' varsity gymnastics team had a home meet on Tuesday evening at BHS against the Wakefield Warriors. The girls lost 137.05 to 125.65. The girls will host the ML12 League meet next Monday evening at BHS. As for the boys, they had their final regular home season meet against Attleboro and Newton. The team did not come out on top as they fell to third place in the end. They will be attending the state meet at Newton North High School on Friday evening. Red Devils Wrestling had some good wins on Saturday, February 2nd at the Capital City Tourney in Concord, New Hampshire. Junior Ryan McGilvery finished in 4th place. Both Soda brothers win their second straight Capital City title, and Joe Perna earned his first. Burlington finished 6th out of 25th. The team headed to Shawshene Valley Tech to face the Rams on Tuesday evening, where they lost 54-18 in the defeat. The boys will have a quad meet against Billerica, Agawam, and Marlboro at Agawam High School on Saturday morning. The boys and girls indoor track teams had their final regular season home meet on Monday evening. Both Burlington teams hosted the ML12 meet at Reggie Lewis Track and Athletic Center and BU Track and Tennis Center. A school record was broken for the girls in the 4x200 meter relay. The previous holders are the current coaches on the team, head coach Jessica McCarthy and athletic trainer Kirsten Merlino. The new holders are freshman Grace Hannafin, sophomores Liz Bryby, Paige Devereaux, and junior Winnie Sachaya. The Lady Devils relay team finished in 3rd place at a time of 1:49.92. The girls will be attending the indoor track winter playoff tournament on Saturday, February 15th at the Reggie Lewis Track and Athletic Center at 10 a.m. Boys and girls ice hockey had a Middlesex League game against the Wilmington Wildcats on Wednesday, February 5th. The boys had a tough game through its entirety. They only scored 1 goal by senior and captain Ryan O'Halloran. Burlington tied Wilmington in the end 1-1. The Lady Devils lost a close one as well, as Bella Hacker scored the only goal for the ladies that evening. The ladies lost 2-1 against the Wildcats. Both teams will be back at the Ice Palace on Saturday afternoon to take on another rival, the Stoneham Spartans. The girls dropped to 6-8-2, and the Red Devils dropped to 10-3-3. Lastly, senior Kyle Pena is off to college next year and has made his decision on Wednesday afternoon. Pena will be attending UMaine, located in Orono, Maine. Pena was the starting quarterback for the Burlington football team for 3 years. Congrats to Kyle and best of luck. We'll have a feature on Kyle and Coach McKay next week during the Sports Report. Go to bcattv.org under the BNEWS Sports Hub page for more Red Devil action. And that is all for your weekly sports report. I am Liz Gillespie. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Liz. Well, another week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo shows that Burlington students are ready and eager to help their younger peers. It's from Burlington Public Schools and a group of Burlington High School students who took time to visit Pine Glen Elementary School and read to younger students on World Read Aloud Day. Great job, all. Thanks for the picture. Well, we'd like to see your photos. They could be of something you see around town, the weather outside your own door, or even photos of your family members and pets. Whatever you think is interesting and you'd like to share, please email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. Well, that does it for the news this week for BNEWS Weekly. I'm Brad Bond, again in for Phil Gallagher. Join us again next week for BNEWS Weekly. Thanks for watching.